This is Greg Gilbert, host of Python's Paradise, here on a lovely. Well, we got snow on the ground here, but we got the sun out. But here we are, February the 10th, 2021. My second interview for today, and I got a return guest, and we are celebrating the 5 year anniversary of a film that I actually saw 10 times in the theater, which is something I was told never to bring up on a date. But Sausage Party, there we are. Now I'm wondering if I flashlight that for, there we go. Flashlight that for people that actually watch the video and not the audio of this when the time comes. But I have a return guest, one of the voice actors from the film and an animator himself, Scott Diggs Underwood. How do you do, Scott?
I'm really good. I'm really good. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you. I sought after you from Sausage Party there 5 years ago when I had you on before, and I've been keeping up with what you've been doing on Facebook, and I don't always comment, but I do always check out your artwork. Where do you come up with your ideas for all these wacky characters you come up with? Like,
Well, the stuff that you see on Facebook and Instagram specifically is usually just kind of the stream of thought doodles that I come up with in the morning as I'm, warming up, or late in the evening as I'm winding down, and just drawing something. And it's often a chicken, as you've seen, but it could just be anything. And then I usually have a story with it, but I don't know what that story is when I'm drawing it, really. I just kind of make it up. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but certainly they border on the odd.
well, I'm going to tell you, you did one the other day that you sent to me that I really liked. It was the one with the the female that has hold of the snake,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
that was looked similar to your other drawings, but yet different. The colors were so vibrant. I think it's my favorite picture that you've done. In fact, when I put the YouTube up, if with your permission, I would love to use that as the cover picture.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what I did any different with that, but I am always kind of playing with different techniques and different settings
Hmm.
on those pictures because they're not for anything. They're just for Instagram or wherever. So it's easy enough to just play with it and tweak the colors or whatever.
Well, those colors just jumped right out, and of course, me being the Python, of course, I love the fact you got a snake
Ah,
in that
yes,
picture.
of
You,
course.
you know, but even beyond that though, like just the reds, the greens, the purples, and the yellows, and the other colors on there were just they just popped. I thought that was the best work I've seen you do, and that's saying something, consider I've never had a complaint about any of your stuff.
Well, appreciate it.
Yeah, love that picture. So we're going to talk a little bit about Sausage Party. I know a lot of people can hear a lot of your background with this on the other interview, but
Hmm.
we are celebrating the 5 year anniversary. I can't believe it's been 5 years since this thing was in the theater.
Yeah, time's just racing.
And I found it funny because when I called your number the other night, your wife answered the phone. What does she think of this movie?
She's actually quite a fan of it herself. She's also in the animation world. She's also a story artist, so she kind of knows what goes into it, and what it takes to get it done. And she's also a fan of Seth Rogen, so that certainly helps.
Yeah, I've got a lot of his movies here as well. And but yeah, I really enjoyed this. I felt it really got snubbed at the Academy Awards that year. I was disappointed about that because a lot of people they see this and they just think it's filthy. And well,
Right.
they be right, but at the same token, This movie had a lot of thought go into it, set in a grocery store and you got all the foods that there's a lot of stuff about religion in it, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I thought the themes were very um, important to that movie, and
I think
I
so
think they
too.
came across really well. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun working on a movie like that.
And I thought the Saving Private Ryan reference scene was brilliant, with the flour dropping, all the food was on the floor, or the
Right, right.
supermarket. I thought that was clever. I don't think this was done on a whim, and I think there was a lot of thought go into it. And how's it feel to be part of something like this?
Well, I continue to be proud of what I did on that movie and how the movie turned out, and I really I count it as one of my top uh, projects that I've worked on. So you know, there's that. I'm pretty I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah.
Well, since your wife answered the phone last night and you did four voices in this, how does I'm gonna get you to do some voices here.
Oh boy.
How does Twink address your wife?
Well, he probably wouldn't want to bother, but um, that is a voice that comes out now and again. Oh, hello, Sharon. How are you today? You know.
How does Mr. Pizza address your wife?
Oh, he's a little more aggressive. Hey, I can't even remember what I did for him. Can't you see? I'm walking in. But he wouldn't be walking, would he? He didn't have any feet. What was his line now? Oh, jeez, can't even
He
remember.
had no feet. He had no feet.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I haven't since the movie came out or whatever. I haven't explored any of these characters any more so because well, that's done and over with.
I'm gonna give you some
So
practice.
yeah, I'm a
So I
bit
need to. I
coming in
need.
cold here.
How does Crinkle Chips address your wife?
Hey, Sharon, what we having for dinner? Oh, fuck!
And finally, how does Gum
Ah,
address your
yes.
wife?
Uh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you here, Sharon. I hope to spend a wonderful evening with you tonight.
You know what? That is great. Like, here's the thing. You're doing four very different voices here, and I remember when I originally reached out to you. If it's like I was wondering who the voice of Twink was, because I always loved that line, Twink's kick-ass lyrics. When they're dressing the,
Yeah,
the
the
song,
theme
like
song.
Twink's a big songwriter, But so I sought you out, and I was quite pleased when I found out that you had done four different voices. You would think, and maybe there's a different story to that you would be sought after for more bigger films, especially after this.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'll say that. So if anyone's listening, just
Well, you
give
got
me
the
a holler.
talent.
Well, I am a unionized voice actor
Hmm.
only because of this Sausage Party film, because there was the requirements that if I was doing these voices, I had to join the union, the
Hmm.
voice actors union. Of course, I had nothing to do with it prior to this, and it's only because of Seth's kind of insistence that I got to stay as these voices that I then joined the union. And I have gone on to do bit roles in little things like uh, uh, vastly different than Sausage Party. I did some voice work on My Little Pony, for
Holy
example.
cow.
So that that's the other side of the coin there. But And I've done like a little. I did a little role in the recent Addams Family movie, and I did some other TV stuff here and there. And so yeah, definitely that the voice side of things is not a huge part of my day, but that is something I have continued to explore.
Wow. Yeah. My Little Pony. They needed to do that with profanity.
Yeah, there was nary a curse word in my lines.
Yeah, My Little Pony has gotten a little weird since I was young. I, I don't get the phenomenon, but behind
Mhm.
that, I just leave that off the table for me.
Right,
But yeah, but I know when it came to the theater, I did not go see the recent one.
right.
But people were like working at the theater were like, is this thing going to have a lot of people go to it? And what's the audience going to be?
Yeah, I don't actually know how it did.
I don't know
I think it
either.
did quite well. Um, but yeah, they're now onto a new iteration, a newer iteration of the Pony universe. So we'll see what happens with that version now.
Well, Sausage Party did fairly well.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did very nicely well, which actually kind of helped open the doors to other kind of R-rated animation that's coming uh, to whatever, I guess, to streaming services now. But I think it definitely had a part in opening that door.
Yeah. Well, I love the side where you could do the animations and or the voices and whatnot. Are you familiar with Dave McCrae out of Toronto?
Can't say I am.
Okay, he does a podcast and he also is a voice actor. I haven't had him on here yet, but I listened to his podcast. But you're find it fascinating that you're Canadian, so we got a nice Canadian connection with Sausage Party. We gotta keep proud of this movie.
Yeah, well, the Canadian. Oh, there's a lot of Canadian in there. I mean, the it was basically made at the place called Nitrogen Studios, which is just here in Vancouver, and of course, Seth's from Vancouver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so um, while you know the production companies were certainly in LA, but yeah, a lot of Canadian talent into that movie.
I don't know why somebody's trying to call me. I should have had that on flight. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Somebody somebody trying to call his H&R Block. I'll have
Yeah,
to call
tax
them.
time's coming, right?
Well, I'll have to give them a call back. Anyway, okay, I lost my train of thought there. Okay, what have you been doing with yourself during the pandemic? I know you've been doing a lot of drawings and stuff, as I see on Facebook, but is it bad there in Vancouver? Here we're in the orange phase.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely all housebound here in Vancouver. It's uh, I don't know what I don't know. I haven't heard what if they've applied a color to it, but certainly it's too dangerous to be doing much of anything. So we're all housebound. I was already doing remote work before the pandemic started, so I was already in my basement, drawing, and that
Mhm.
just kind of continued. And currently, I'm working with Sony Animation, and uh, it hasn't really changed. I just continue to work in my little office here and send stuff through to LA. Hasn't me personally, it hasn't affected too much, but certainly everything around me is a little more chaotic.
You also worked on the Emoji Movie. Now, you know what? I like the Emoji Movie a lot more than a lot of people did. That film won the worst picture at the Razzies that year.
Yeah,
And I don't know. A lot of people said, well, they're just making a movie based on emojis, and I'm like, yeah, but emojis has become a major part of expressing oneself, especially texting or whatever online.
yeah,
And especially with a character like Meh, you know, um, like it's kind of in between things. I didn't think the movie was as bad as what it's being portrayed as being. What are your thoughts on the Emoji Movie? Are you disappointed of its reception or?
well, I guess I'll just describe it as such. So I worked on it. It was a decent experience. A lot of cool people I got to work with. But then when it came out, I'll be honest, I haven't even seen it yet. My family went to see it, and I was like, not interested.
Okay.
So I don't know. I can't say that if it's been deserving of all the negative hype around it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. So I'm gonna withhold my opinion.
Did the family all see Sausage Party?
Well, yeah, there's certain members of the family that have I've tried to just say, just to wait a couple years there. But
I take it you got kids, huh?
I have two kids, but they're old enough to have legally seen it, so I couldn't stop them.
What did they think of it?
Well, they both, and I don't know, could be partly that I worked on it, and they're very supportive, but definitely they both were like, yeah, we quite like it. So who's to say? As long as they're not going around the house quoting most of the words, should be okay. Though if if they want to throw that in now and again, that might be a nice little pick me up, especially in these times, right?
Do they have a favorite character that you voiced in it?
I think Twink is. It's because he's just kind of this cute, he's this cute guy, and he's kind of a weird voice. The that weird voice just kind of came. There wasn't a lot of exploration of finding that voice. It was just while the movie was being made, it was like, well, we need to put a voice in the animatic for temporary reasons. So do whatever, and I did that,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to stay. So that's pretty cool.
I like the fact they used the frosting as hair, and the hair was
Yeah,
all stylized up. And he wrote kick-ass lyrics.
that's right.
But I also, of course, Gum. I love the Terminator reference, Terminator 2 reference with him.
Hmm. I actually storyboarded that piece too, so that was a lot of fun. I like drawing gum. When you're drawing gum, of course, there's you don't have to worry about too much expression or facial contortions. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just gum. That's all you need to do.
Yep. Yep. So, you mentioned the Adams Family animation. What got you on board with that?
Well, it so happens that the two directors of Sausage Party end up being the two directors of that Adams Family movie, and so we had all continued to keep in touch, and then when that came up, a lot of the folks that were on Sausage Party ended up going on to Addams Family, and that includes um, a few more of the storyboard artists that I worked with on Sausage Party, like Todd DeMong and Dave Dick and Corey Toomey, for example.
Mhm.
They were all on both films, so there was a lot of familiarity with those guys and with the directors. Kind of what people's strengths is, and what kind of stuff we wanted to see. So it was just kind of just like a natural progression of knowing these people, and then we rolled on to that movie.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the Addams Family last Addams Family movie, so I wasn't familiar with the fact that it had the same two directors. Did it have the language like this one did?
Certainly not. Certainly not.
Oh,
It's
that
a
would have been different.
little bit of a different target audience there. Yeah.
Were you a fan of the Addams Family growing up?
Um, in passing, I mean, I never watched it regularly. It wasn't
Hmm.
a part of the television curriculum, but uh, that and the Munsters I knew and enjoyed. Um, so I can't say I was a Rabbit fan, but I certainly wasn't against it in any way. I really like the comics, though, the original comics by Chaz Adams, and I did kind of seek those out as a teenager, as I was just kind of hungry for all kinds of different comic content from the past, and a lot of these old strips really really cool.
You also are listed on IMDb as working on SpongeBob Squarepants. Now,
That's
I
right.
got to admit, I have seen those movies. I was gonna say I didn't see them by choice at the time. I'd see two movies a week, and sometimes with here, I'd only have no other choice. But I got to be frank and say that SpongeBob movies were better than I thought they were going to be, especially that second one where they had Antonio Banderas as
Right.
Burger Pirate. Talk about doing work on SpongeBob.
Sure. I mean, uh, I didn't work on any of the SpongeBob movies.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yes.
I kind of helped out
Yeah.
on the show,
Mm-hmm.
but that was a great experience. It wasn't a terribly long experience. I was kind of only on it for a little bit, but the small part I did get to do storyboarding was a lot of fun because these characters are very cartoony and expressive, and
Mm-hmm.
that that in itself is fun to draw. And just the fact that I'm a fan of SpongeBob and the humor, so obviously it worked well. It fit well, and I think it's something I'd like to do. If it came up again, I would like to do more SpongeBob, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, SpongeBob, in a lot of ways, kind of goes hand in hand with the style of animation that you're accustomed to that I've seen on Facebook anyway.
Right, right. It's cartoony and it's kind of uh, it's a modern look, but it draws upon the principles of the classics. So that's always stuff I'm interested in.
Well, looking at all the array of pictures I see posted on Facebook of drawings you do, take us through the process of you coming up with something and it going to the page. Like, how does that go? Because I don't know. It's like I see these every day. I see a new drawing, and I'm like, where does this come from?
I mean, I wish I had a better answer for that question because I'm not sure where it comes from, which part of the creative process that's coming out of. But usually, what I'll do is I'll pull up a Photoshop file, or I still like to work on paper here and there, but since I'm already working on the computer, it's usually I'll just pull up a empty Photoshop file, and just kind of throw down a couple scribbles of whatever. I don't know what it's going to be. It's a few lines of a shape, a circle. I guess that kind of looks like a wildebeest. Okay, Today I'm drawing a wildebeest. Hey, maybe his horns are a little bit extra long, and he's speared through some sort of accountant here. I'll just put that in there, and it just kind of a stream of thought, and it doesn't, that some are more successful than others, but it just kind of comes out of nowhere, and I just kind of go with it. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm drawing today, and you'll see that there's kind of repeating themes in some of my drawings. There's a lot of like weird lizard things or
Chicken or angry
chicken,
women.
angry women. Yeah, these are themes. I don't know what I'm trying
Yesterday
to.
you had a crocodile or an alligator.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
just kind of, and like usually on that feed, there's nothing. There's no characters that are kind of repeated or my own characters. I do have some of those, and they do appear now and again. And I'm kind of working on doing some stuff with some of those guys too. So hopefully as the feed progresses, you'll be able to see reoccurring characters on the mindless scribbles. We'll see.
mindless but creative.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's exercising the creativity. That's
Hmm.
it's exercise. So it's kind of that is what it is.
Well, today you had, of course, the hen with the Timex watch. Now, why the hen with the Timex watch? Now, I love the combination of the two, but talk me through that since that was your latest one.
Sure, I'll try to talk you through that if it makes any sense. Um, so I was probably, if I remember correctly, so I was already drawing a chicken.
Hmm.
I just had kind of a couple scribbles down on my iPad of this
Yeah.
chicken. And then I was scrolling through Instagram, as one does, and there's an account a friend of mine has that's all about watches. And so that comes up on my feed, and I'm like, oh, a watch, eh? Well, I guess the chicken's wearing a watch now. And then it just, from seeing that, I did it. That's all there is. It didn't come up with anything groundbreaking there. It's a chicken wearing a watch, but
You know what? But I like your process. It's like you're writing a story, but you don't know how it ends, and you just kind of keep going with it. I like your thought process.
that's actually a good way of putting it. I'm writing a story, but I don't know how to write a story.
Yeah, but it's like you're sitting down. Like for me, if I was to draw something, I'm a horrible drawer, but if I was to sit down and draw something, I would think, what do I want to draw?
Mm,
Blah blah blah. And it's not like you do that. You just kind
no.
of start doodling or whatever, and then just see where it takes you. It takes real talent to do that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, that is there are times when I specifically I like I think I want to draw a Doberman Pinscher, so I go ahead and do that. But yeah, usually at least for the stuff you're talking about here, it's usually whatever. I'll try something. I don't know. And like I said, some stuff I like more than other stuff, but whatever. I tried a new thing, or I'll try kind of emulating a different style, and emulating is kind of a loose word because it still kind of looks like my regular old style, but I'm incorporating some elements of whatever it is I've been inspired by as of recent.
It's funny because when I had you on the first time, um, I'm trying to think. I believe it was 2017. That was when I had you on
Mm-hmm.
because I had you on. You were the next interview after I had interviewed Ralph Bakshi.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had Bakshi on twice, and now I've got you on a second time, And I actually brought Sausage Party up to Bakshi too, and he hadn't seen it at the time. He seemed a little intrigued, so
Right.
he certainly he knew what it was. But before there was Sausage Party, there was Fritz the cat, of course.
Hmm.
Did you get any inspiration from Bakshi?
Um, I am a fan of Bakshi,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that I ever specifically zeroed in on uh, Bakshi in particular
Mm-hmm.
inspiring me. Though I do kind of include the new adventures of Mighty Mouse in kind of the realm of, oh, that's cool. So in a way, yes. And I do like the Bakshi films, like you said, Fritz the Cat and um, American Pop and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings stuff, not so much. It's kind of too, for my taste. It was like, well, it's just kind of real stuff. Boring. I want cartoony stuff.
Yeah. So, what were your favorite cartoons growing up?
Growing up, it was Looney Tunes by a long shot. Was top of the charts. I like the Flintstones.
Mm-hmm.
I like those are the stuff that I could still watch again today and be like, oh yeah, this is still inspiring. It's still great. Of course, I still at growing up, I really liked Masters of the Universe.
Oh, I've
Uh,
got some of the figures here.
oh, nice. Yeah,
They're
I
all
do.
locked away somewhere, but I've
Locked
got
away.
them. Yeah.
Get keep them away from
Well, I just got in this
thieves.
apartment last year, and I'm waiting for the transition where um, my brother and I want to get a house where he and his wife live upstairs and I live downstairs.
Okay.
Go get solar panels and stuff so we can kind of live off the grid and live a little cheaper, you know.
Hmm.
And so I don't. I got all my Blu-rays and stuff. I pulled this out of a box before our interview, you know, and so I got kind of get everything in boxes around here, stuff out here and there, um, but yeah, I got some of the newer Masters of the Universe figures.
Okay. The
Yep,
reissued
so deep.
retro
Yeah.
retro play, but modern sculpt or something, whatever it said. But
Well,
yeah, they look
one of the things I hated about the old figures is they had this rubber that attached their legs, and that would wear thin. Their legs would come off
yeah,
after a
yeah,
while,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I know
Um,
what you're saying.
yeah, but I do know this. The new figures. I've got 10 good guys, and I got 6 villains.
Okay,
Yeah. I'd always get whatever I saw in town here. But I know the villains. I got Skeletor, I got Beastman, I've got Merman, which was a personal favorite of mine because my favorite color is green. I've got Trapjaw, which was another favorite. I've got Triclops, and I got Too Bad.
oh yeah, Too Bad is a classic villain.
Yep.
I mean that the He-Man's like has a very nostalgic
Mm-hmm.
uh, part of me is still inspired by it. I don't. It's hard to get through the old episodes nowadays, but they're just a product of their times. But I am still a fan. I mean, I still have He-Man memorabilia kicking around. You know, Prince,
Oh, there you go.
stuff like that. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. But obviously, that the He-Man style doesn't really do a lot for what I draw.
Yeah, had I known, I would have brought them out here. I think I got them a closet there somewhere. But the good guys I had 10 of those. I got He-Man, of course. I got Prince Adam. I've got Man at Arms. I got Stratos. I've got Buzz Off. I got Cyclone. I got Ram Man. I got Mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think what the other two are. And they're all lost on me right now.
These little collector ones that have recently come out are really great too.
There you
Got
go.
yeah. So I like toys, so they're inspiring to me. So I have toys kicking around the office at all times of every era, you know.
There you go. Yeah, no, I've got I don't remember the other two, but I had them all bagged up somewhere here.
Oh
But
yeah.
the new figures were great, and I'm not sure if I had Orko or not. I might have Orko. One that I don't have that we never had in town that I really wanted was Tila,
Oh yeah.
and we never had her in town. We never had Evil Lynn either.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I heard they're going to make a new anime style cartoon out of it. I don't know how well that's going to process, but
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith is
Kevin
part of
Smith.
that. And I just saw the other day uh, he was kind of sharing some of the score for the
Hmm.
new series, which sound pretty cool. I don't know. I think it might work. We'll see. I'm kind of intrigued thus far.
Well, I know the 1987 film was horrible.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was horrible because it took place on planet Earth, you know. I think Masters of the Universe could be as big as something like Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter
hmm
if they really put some work into it. I think they could make several movies out of Masters of the Universe because just look at the array of characters
yeah,
that they could play with. I love the villains, you know. Always love the villains, and I even like the side villains, you know, like the evil horde or the snake
right,
people. You
right.
know, there was so many, and the good guys as well. Oh, Manny Faces, I have him. Speaking of which, there's another one I have. There you go. He popped up in my head. But yeah, I had I love the characters, and I had a bunch of the figures growing up. I even had Castle Grayskull, but I don't know where those figures are now.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Yeah, they seem to disappear, you know. But I did get nowadays when you're an adult, I find more adults and Toys R Us and kids nowadays because
Yeah,
the collector thing is so big, you know. Um, I was just at a Comic Con in 2019 in Toronto, and there was a table that had a bunch of those rubber wrestling figures. And I grabbed about a dozen of those because you couldn't break those. You could throw them down
yeah.
a flight of
I remember
stairs.
those. I had Macho Man of that and Kamala.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Macho Man Kamala. Well, I do have these nearby, and my cat just ran away. He was rubbing against my leg because I had to lift these out of the way in order to get to sausage party, but because I had somebody last night was talking wrestling with me. Ooh, yeah,
there he
the
is.
Macho Man Randy Savage. I'd like to get an Elizabeth. I don't have Elizabeth, but
Yeah,
this was very well posed too. This was a great figure.
yeah. I remember it.
Yeah, but I still got that. I've got two of them actually. This one's got better paint on them.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I miss my Macho Man.
Well, you could probably still find him. I don't know how much he would cost, mind you.
Yeah.
And here's Kamala.
Oh, beauty.
The Ugandan giant. We just lost him too.
Yeah.
He passed away last year. But yeah, Kamala. Yeah, I like these these figurines. These are great. I've got all kinds of these in here. Rowdy Roddy Piper. one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yep. So many of these. I got Outback Jack in here. Well, you must
Well,
like this guy, George Animal Steel.
oh yeah, yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. I got Jake the Snake Roberts in
Ah,
here.
he was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Here's Jake.
Beauty.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a bunch of these at the Comic Con. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So many of these. And Terry Funk, the most badass of the bunch. Terry
Right
Funk.
on.
I'll tell you, that guy wasn't afraid to put his body in danger in a match.
No.
Yep. But yeah, I got so many of those. I'd be all day showing those to you. But I found a bunch of them at a flea market. Somebody sold me a box full of them, and there was a bunch at the Toronto Comic Con. I was like, oh, I gotta get them. They had speaking of Masters of the Universe, they had Lego Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah.
And I don't collect Lego, but I grabbed those, and they had a bunch of those. You can assemble them all together, and there was only 2 sets complete. And when one guy ahead of me bought one set, and I bought the other, and they had 8 good guys and 8 villains, and so I grabbed every one of those and brought them back. It's interesting at the cons you find these collectors items. Do you ever do the cons?
I've been to a few. I remember going to the San Diego Comic Con, the big one,
Mm-hmm.
but I only ever went on someone else's dime. So that was back when I worked on Ed, Ed and Eddie, and so Cartoon Network flew a bunch of us out there. We did some panels and whatever else for the show. So that's been a long time ago, but yeah. And then I think I've been, I think I've been to the Toronto one too at some point. Um, and then here and there, there's a few that come to Vancouver, like um, I can't remember what it's called, HeroCon or something that I've checked out. But yeah, I mean, not a lot, but they're interesting. I like seeing all the kind of different things that are being produced. So it's kind of interesting.
So you never get to do stuff with this because I would think with a movie like this that you would be able to do one of the conventions.
It's just never come up. It's never come
Wow.
up. So I don't know. Probably probably 10-year anniversary. Maybe something will happen or something like that.
Are you
But
kidding me? I'm celebrating the 5-year anniversary.
right,
Damn
right,
it.
right, right.
Damn
But
it.
I mean, being that we're in the middle of a worldwide issue, there's no convention
You
for
know
the
what?
5-year anniversary.
That is the one thing I need completed. And like I got the Zoom going so I could do my podcast. But I've been working through the pandemic. I work as a cleaner.
Okay.
So that's how I make my money. So, but I'm so glad to get this up and going again because I missed it so much. And one of the benefits of not doing this at the station is I don't have to schedule on around other programmers. I can just do it
Right.
here. So this is nice.
Yeah.
Like I love being able to do that earlier interview today and just was able to just do it, schedule it right there, and well, there you go. But no, the only thing missing from my life is being able to travel again.
Right.
Uh, Actually, it was later on that year after I interviewed you. I interviewed you. Actually, it was February. I think February 1st or 2nd. I think February 2nd, 2017. I had interviewed you, and later on that year, I was invited to Horrorama in Toronto.
Ah, very cool. Very
Yep,
cool.
by Lisa Langlois of the movie Class of 1984.
Hmm.
And I got to assist her at her table. It was the first time I was out of New Brunswick, Canada,
Really?
and I'm gonna be 49 this year. But it was the first time I was on a plane, first time anywhere besides Fredericton. I've been to Prince Edward Island. That's
Right.
outside of New Brunswick, but I've been to Moncton, St. John. I had no desire to travel, but of course, when somebody from one of these movies invites you, you don't say no,
Yeah.
you know? So I took Porter Airlines, which I love, and landed in um, Toronto Island. And it's the first time I'd seen escalators since the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't had them here since the 80s. And gotta get up to light there and all these buildings. Like, we got tall buildings here, but they're nothing compared to what I saw in Toronto. So,
Right.
but I had so much fun at that convention, and just being in Toronto, I went back every year except last year, of course. But I went every year since, and I love it, loved it. Did you travel a lot before the pandemic?
Not not a lot. Um, Not a lot. I've only ever been. Uh, Let me think. Let me think. I haven't been a lot of play. I did a couple years ago. I did a trip to Japan and China, which was a lot of fun. Very interesting there, where there was a toy show,
Mm-hmm.
the Shanghai Toy Expo, I believe it was called, and uh, it was amazing. We myself and my design partner, guy named Charlie, we had created a toy for that, not necessarily for that, but we released it at that show. So that was a lot of fun. Beyond that, I've kind of only been in and around the states, but yeah, I've never been to Ireland or Africa or anything.
No.
Anyway.
Well, I wonder why they haven't done any figurines for this.
I'd like to see it. Someone should grab that license and get going because I think the collector's market would
Oh, I
appreciate
think
it.
so. I think so. Like, I'm hoping more people will do stuff with this movie this year for its 5 year anniversary, because I think there's a lot of definitely some ideas here for collectors. Definitely,
Oh yeah,
there
yeah,
are a
for
few
sure.
T-shirts out there. I do know that, but
Yeah, but it'd be nice to have like a Frank and Brenda action figure. I get you. Yeah,
how would a gum action figure?
yeah, that'd be great. I mean, you could even be in a little remote controlled thing or something.
Yeah,
That'd be rad.
or Twink,
Yeah,
or Mr. Pizza with his little box. I use no legs.
surprised no one's kind of released anything like that, but I don't know. Be good to get that license.
It would be great. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? I think this is a great movie. I've seen it many times in the theater. 10. I saw Everybody Wants Some and I saw Sausage Party, both 9 times a piece when they came out. And then there was something happening where they were some Saturday where they were, I don't know what it was for, but they had some movies playing the following year that weren't regulars. And
Right.
Sausage Party was one, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's cap her off with 2 digits on this one.
That's great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I love the look of it. I love the tone of it. I do know that it's not for everybody, but it's certainly for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I thought it was very creative. I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, and I certainly love your work in it.
I
Very,
appreciate that.
very different. So, what are you doing now, other than the pandemic? Is there anything you're planning for?
Well, like I mentioned, I've been working with Sony Pictures Animation
Mm-hmm.
on some feature stuff. and so that's going pretty well. I've been doing that over a year now, so that
Mm-hmm.
it's going well. It's a lot of fun. I don't think I'm allowed to talk
It's
about
okay. You don't
what
have
I'm
to.
doing. But beyond that, I'm just kind of planning for creating little bits of merch for my own stuff, some figurines and skateboards and whatever else, stuff like that, which will kind of appear on my Instagram feed as I get closer to completion on those things. And those things are just kind of in the works. Beyond that, I've been dabbling in comics a little bit here and
Mm-hmm.
there, and yeah, I've been keeping busy through the pandemic.
Well, looking behind you, I noticed an elf.
Yeah.
Did you used to watch that growing up?
Oh yeah, that was probably my favorite show.
Mine
Alf.
was Married with Children.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But I remember Elf very, very well.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
never missed it. I never missed an Alf.
And I noticed like on the shelf behind you, like you got any interesting figurines up there that you're really proud of?
Well, I guess the one I'd be most proud of would be the one that I designed.
Okay, show, please do.
Let me just move some of the other extraneous ones out of the way.
So you didn't make a twink or a gum?
No, I mean I didn't want to get into copyright infringement or anything like that.
Oh my
But the
goodness, you
ones
made
that
that.
I designed it was made in manufactured in China. But these are called Monster Box. It's been a couple years now since I've done these, but these are kind of uh, stackable monsters that I designed with my design partner Charlie.
Okay.
I'm pretty proud of these guys.
Are there
It's
more?
it was always one of my goals to make toys, and then finally finally I got to. So pretty stoked about
Oh
that.
wow. Now where did that idea come from?
That idea actually stemmed from a necessity because uh, my friend Charlie, who lives and works in China, he has a design firm there, and he was doing some promo stuff for a shoe company over there,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted kind of a figurine to go with a shoe launch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So he had me kind of draw up some stuff, and what I came up with was these monsters that live in a shoebox. That's their backstory. And it so happened that that shoe company decided to go a different direction, but we had already put in a bunch of work on this toy, so
Mm-hmm.
we just decided, well, we'll just make it ourselves. So we got a hold of some other companies. There was a company called Unbox Industries who agreed to get on board with it, and so we worked with them and created a small run of these Monster Box toys to go in with their Unbox Industries launch. They did pretty good. They only it stopped at the two, but we've got some other stuff planned for the future, and everything was put on hold as with everything else with the pandemic. But as things start to churn again, hopefully we'll get the next Scott Underwood toy off the production line.
Oh well, yeah, that looks great. And you designed that. That is fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
You
Yeah,
just
no, pretty proud of it.
if you had a whole bunch of them, you could stack them up.
Well, that's what we were aiming for, and we never
Mm-hmm.
quite got there. Never say never, but yeah, that's at least for now. That's where it stopped. The two of them.
Okay. Okay. That's creative. Um, yeah, again, I don't know how your mind works. It's just like with you getting up and just doodling, you come up with that. And yeah, that looks great. Looks like something that would be fun collector's item too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
is definitely a collector's uh, toy because if you want to make a children's toy, there's a lot of safety regulations that you got to get you got to get behind. And if hopefully one day I'll get to that. But these are, adult collector toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said before, when I go into Toys R Us, I see more adults than kids.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Star Wars, wrestling, whatever,
Yeah.
it's in a lot of these toy fairs, it's mainly adults. Toys have become a thing of a collector's thing, and toys are being done so beautifully now and so detailed. Like I
Yes.
said, those Masters of the Universe I have stashed away here somewhere. I wish I had them out here, but the detail on them now, like when I look at, say, Trap Jaw, they made his robotic arm there, so monstrous looking, and you
Hmm.
had the three items you can stick in, and so much different than what the old figure was,
Yeah.
and I like that those kind of designs. And I certainly hope they do a movie and do it right with Masters. Did you have a favorite Masters of the Universe character? Going back to that?
Well, you mentioned Trapjaw, and he was top of the charts for me. I had the Trapjaw and a Skeletor.
Yeah.
So those two guys were probably my favorites. Trying to think if there was any other contenders. I'm gonna stick with those two. Stratos. I liked Stratos a lot.
Yeah. I always liked Merman. Merman was green, my favorite color.
Yeah.
You know, but I had a lot of fun with Trapjaw because he had the interchangeable things. Of course, Roboto did that as well when they
Yeah.
eventually made him. Um, but Trapjaw was cool. Spikor was really cool. And of course, I'll never forget the comic
Yeah.
where the evil horde wanted to go to war with Skeletor's team. And to get the message across, they needed to capture one of Skeletor's henchmen. And out of all the ones they captured Stinkor.
Uh,
Yeah, that backfired on them.
right. Right.
That was funny. But and of course, I always liked Tila because when I was a young teen growing up, that just looked fine.
Right. Right.
So if they
Tila.
get somebody to
Yeah.
play her, they better do a good job,
Right.
especially with that costume. Yeah, but yeah, love those love those characters, and of course, it's all into collectors now. So yeah, do you think they'll do a sequel to Sausage Party?
It'd be nice. I haven't heard any talk of it, but
They,
mind you, I wouldn't necessarily be on the know of that. But
they kind of left it open there. I'll tell
yeah,
you that.
it's open. It's open.
Not only is it open, but it's open to an interesting sequel concept too.
Yes,
I like
absolutely.
what they could do with that because it wouldn't be the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite scene in this movie?
Um. Hmm. I must. I must. What is it? I can't pick one. I can't pick one
I
off
can't
the top
really
of my
either,
head. Yeah.
but I just know that in 2016 it was one of those movies I extremely enjoyed. This and Everybody Wants Some and Office Christmas Party, I think, were three of my favorites that came out that year.
Okay.
Although Office Christmas Party, I only saw that 6 times.
Oh, that's it, eh? Oh.
Yeah, after Christmas time, it loses its luster. But I got it
Right.
here on Blu-ray. But and I probably would have seen Everybody Wants Some a 10th time had it played here longer. But yeah, I love Sausage Party. I'm not too ashamed of it at all. But I think it was a lot of creativity going to this, and yeah. What do you think? 5 years. 5 years. I can't believe 5 years has passed since I sat and binge
Yeah.
watched this.
I think that's still the less years than it took to make it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I had a little problematic production, I heard.
Well, getting it right and just the process of animation. how that inherently just takes so long anyway.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's not too unheard of for a major animated picture, 5 years.
No.
But it's um, yeah, it takes forever. It takes forever.
No, they did
I
a good
remember
job
like
of it.
Seth Rogen had several live action movies come out while we were still making this one.
Hmm.
So that was kind of interesting.
Are you still in touch with any of the cast from Sausage Party?
Not, no, I can't say that I am. No, I mean, I have uh, briefly been in touch with certain people over the
Hmm.
years, but um, nothing that has gone onto a long-term project or anything.
Because you got a great cast in this. They all listed here, like Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Jonah Hill, Bill Hader, Michael Cera, James Franco.
So yeah, in terms of voice cast, how it works, I had met zero of those people doing the voice, and I
And
know.
yet, and yet, out of everybody, like you recognize all their personalities and the characters, but you, on the other hand, did four of the voices, and they're all distinctly different.
Well, I appreciate that. Though
Yep.
Bill Hader is he did I don't know how many voices he did, but his are in the movie, but his are he did El Guaco and the tequila bottle and the firewater. So
Yep.
those are also
Okay. Yep. Bill Hader.
he also
Yep.
has an incredible gamut of voice talent.
I always
Very
associated him
inspiring.
with Firewater. I forgot that he did the tequila bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Well, do you got any charities that you want to promote on here before we wrap up?
Nothing comes to mind in terms of that. I haven't really been. Um, I, I haven't looked into that.
Well, where can people find you? I know where I can find you, but where can people find you if they want to
Well,
look at your work?
the best place is Instagram, I'd say. At Scott Diggs, uh,
Okay.
SCOTTDIGGS, two G's, and yeah, so that's where I'm kind of the most active and respond to stuff.
Where did the Diggs come from? Because I know sometimes you're referred to just Scott Underwood.
Yeah, well, Diggs is my legal middle name,
Oh, okay.
which I used to have a different middle name growing up, but then I decided to change it to Diggs
Okay.
because it sounds more like I'm doing something with a shovel if you say my full name, Scott Diggs Underwood. So
Okay.
I think it just makes a little more sense. As
Okay.
it's a full sentence now.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I can see your point. Never thought of it that way. Okay. Well, we definitely got to get to some voices out of you before we close off. So
What? Or we already did that. Oh,
we're going to
jeez.
do that again because you see, we got COVID going on out there.
Right.
You know, what's Mr. Pizza's life been like with COVID?
Um, a little bit on the spot here. He'd be like, hey, I can't go outside. I can't go here. I can't go there. I'm rotten in here. You know?
And he can't even walk outside because he got
Well,
no legs. What's Crinkle Chips say about the pandemic?
well, I certainly don't mind just staying home and sitting on the couch.
What about Twink? What's he think of the pandemic?
Well, I can't even go to the discotheque. This is absolutely terrible.
And of course, Gum. What does he think of the whole pandemic?
Let's let's see. Gum. Gum. Uh, well, I suppose I couldn't have thought of something more diabolical myself. The pandemic really is the shits.
I love that voice. Yeah. Well, you know what, Scott? It was wonderful having you back on here today. And like I said, keep in touch, because like I said, you get another big project come up and whatnot. I'd gladly have you on a third time,
Oh, that's excellent. Thank
you
you.
know well, yeah, I love your work in this. And as I said, I've been watching what you've been doing on Facebook, and I don't always comment, but I'll always put a like in.
Nice. Thank
you
you.
know that picture the other day there with the woman and the snake, that one just really grabbed me. I had to comment on that one. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
I really enjoyed that. So before I let you go, I'm going to need a plug, but like the first time, I'm going to need it twink style.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, a twink style. So the just say who you are, and we're celebrating the 5-year anniversary of Sausage Party, and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise out of New Brunswick, Canada.
Okay. Let me see if I can get all that.
Yeah, get all that.
Python's Paradise,
Yep.
New Brunswick, Canada.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try it. If I get it wrong, we'll just do it
We do it as
again. Well, this is Twink. We're here celebrating 5 years of Sausage Party. Ain't that something? You're listening to. Yeah. I'm going to try it all again, Greg.
Yep, go for it.
This is Twink. We're here celebrating 5 years of Sausage Party. Isn't that something? You're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
Awesome.
How did I do?
You did fine. You missed the New Brunswick, Canada, but that's
Damn
okay.
It.
That's okay. You're good. You're good. You got the gist of it. So, you ever been out this way? I don't remember if I even asked that question
I can't say that
before.
I have been, but I wouldn't mind. Once it's safe to do so, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I might have asked you that last time, but I didn't listen to that in preparation for this, but I got it online. It's for me, it's getting good hits, but I've only got between 200 and 300 subscribers right now. But
Okay.
yeah, but to me, any views I get is fine.
Cool. Yeah.
Mine aren't monetized, so people want to listen, they listen, and I think they should definitely tune into you. That's for sure, and take a look at what you're doing
Yeah.
for art. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. I look forward every time you're posting one of these pictures and the little think it's dialogue you have written up above.
Right on. No, I appreciate that again, and yeah, I'll just keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward. Well, folks, 5 years anniversary of Sausage Party. We're celebrating this year. Yes, we will celebrate that all of 2016. And yes, Scott Diggs Underwood, 4 voices in that film. And he's a tremendous artist and animator himself, and a terrific voice talent. And we hope you get more such work in the future.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's see what happens.
Well, God bless you, Scott. Thank you so much for coming on here today and allowing me the honor of chatting with you twice.
No, it was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Well, we'll have you back on again. You keep me posted on what you're doing, and
Will do.
we'll do that again.
Sounds good, Greg.
All right. You take care.
You too.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye now.